Φίλες και φίλοι, τον σημερινό μας καλεσμένο που δεν είναι άλλος από την αυτού μεγαλειότητα του Τζο Αρλάουκας, ένα τεράστιο όνομα του ευρωπαϊκού μπάσκετ, νυν σχολιαστής στο EuroLeague TV, και για τους παλιότερους κάποιοι εξ αυτών ήμασταν και εμείς, εκτός από την ευτυχία, έτσι Δημήτρη και Νίκο. Ήταν ένας από τα κορυφαία τεσσάρια στην Ευρώπη με τη φανέλα της Ρεάλ Μαδρίτης, έπαιξε με την Καζέρτα. Τζο, good afternoon, how are you my man?
Καλησπέρα, how are you?
Γεια σου φίλε.
We are thrilled to welcome you in our show.
It's an honor to be here, of course. I was very, very happy to know that I was going to be on the show today before the game, which is nice.
Are you actually in Athens?
Yeah, I'm in Athens tonight. I'm on my way now to the stadium after this interview, and I'll be doing the game from here. I was in the event in Santorini, in the Santorini experience over the weekend, and I get to do this game because I'm here, so it's going to be a great game.
So it was a good of experience?
Yes, very good experience. It's Santorini, of course, it's a good experience. Amazing island, amazing people, amazing food, amazing, everything's beautiful.
So first of all, how's your view of EuroLeague this year? We have already 3 rounds concluded, and we have another game today and tomorrow. This is the second double week of the season. We have 10 this year, which is an exhausting year for everybody, but also, very special. So what do you see so far?
First of all, as far as the exhausting part, I don't believe that, because in my day, I hate to say this, but in my day, we practiced 2 times every day and we played. Maybe not as many games, but when I played with Zéliko Obrάντοβιτς, I would have rather played than practiced. It was much more difficult to practice than it was to play.
Yeah, but you're not a player anymore.
No, I know. You don't have to remind me of that. Every day I wake up, I know that.
So it's a great situation for the players, you mean?
I think it is. I think it's, more games, it's better. I think the most difficult part is the Eurobasket and the summer, more than it is the actual league. But and I'll answer your question. It's the first time that I'm doing games in EuroLeague, and I actually believe the coaches. The coaches in the beginning of the season, they always lie, and they tell you, "Oh, we didn't have enough time together. The team is not ready. We didn't practice everybody together." And all the coaches now are saying this, and they're making this what I think used to be an excuse, but now I think it's the truth. You see the difference in the teams. Olympiacos, for example, I did the Baskonia game and the Real Madrid game. It's a good first half, a bad second half, We always see the differences on the offensive side because the offense isn't ready to play together yet. But you also, what a lot of people don't see is the problems of the defensive side. There's lack of defensive communication, and that's how things happen. So I believe the coaches. I believe that the league is going to be better the more we go on. Come November, December, it'll be better league than it is right now. I think it'll be better games.
Let us please translate that. Ο Τζο Αρλάουκας είναι στην Αθήνα, ήταν και στη Σαντορίνη το περασμένο Σαββατοκύριακο και την απόλαυσε την όλη εμπειρία. Τώρα ετοιμάζεται να πάει στο μάτς του Ολυμπιακού με την ΦΕΣ. Τον ρώτησε ο Αντώνης αν συμφωνεί ότι η σεζόν είναι εξοντωτική για τις ομάδες. Λέει, δεν το πολύ πιστεύω αυτό. Τον καιρό που έπαιζα, λέει, είχαμε 2 προπονήσεις την ημέρα και συχνά και μάτς μετά την προπόνηση. Ειδικά, λέει, όταν είχα προπονητή τον Ζέλικο Ομπράντοβιτς, θα προτιμούσα αγώνες παρά προπονήσεις. Μη μου το θυμίζετε, λέει, ότι δεν είμαι πια παίκτης. Τη διαφορά, λέει, φέτος, η κατάσταση είναι πολύ ωραία για τους παίκτες που έχουν τόσα μάτς, αλλά τη διαφορά την κάνει το Eurobasket. Είναι η πρώτη φορά, λέει, που μιλάς με τους προπονητές, τους ακούς να μιλούν για να επιστρατεύουν δικαιολογίες κλπ. Και για πρώτη φορά λένε αλήθεια. Δεν είναι άλοθη, δεν είναι δικαιολογίες. Λένε αλήθεια ότι δεν έχουν αρκετό χρόνο για να δουλέψουν με τις ομάδες. Ο Τζο έκανε τα μάτς του Ολυμπιακού με την Βασκόνια και με την Ρεάλ για την EuroLeague TV και είδε έναν Ολυμπιακό που στο πρώτο ημίχρονο ήταν καλός και στο δεύτερο κακός. Είναι φανερό, λέει, ότι στην επίθεση ακόμα δεν λειτουργούν καλά οι ομάδες επειδή δεν έχουν κάνει προετοιμασία. Το ίδιο φαίνεται και στην άμυνα όπου υπάρχει έλλειψη επικοινωνίας, αλλά όσο προχωράει, λέει, ο καιρός, Νοέμβριο-Δεκέμβριο, οι ομάδες θα βελτιώνονται. Joe, what's your take on the two Greek teams, Olympiacos and Panathinaikos? Do they seem better than they were last year? And don't forget that the Final Four is going to be played in Athens this season.
Yeah, I know. Of course, you know that puts a lot of pressure on both teams. That not that Olympiacos and Panathinaikos need more pressure. That's something that they never need here is more pressure. But you know, both teams are amazing rosters. They're amazing teams. But like I said, you know, there's so much that involves in this league. How much you can stand the injuries during the season, especially, are important. You see now Olympiacos has many injuries early in the season. Is that a good thing? Maybe, as long as you're healthy at the end of the season, you know. But if the injuries continue, it's difficult. So I think both teams are in a perfect position to play each other in the Final Four. Hopefully this year it won't be in the third and fourth. Well, there is no third and fourth place game this year, I think.
Yeah.
From what I understand. So there won't be any third or fourth between Olympiacos and Panathinaikos. So hopefully they'll face each other in Athens in the Final Four. That would be crazy.
And which one would win in such a game? Which of the two looks better to you? That's the million-dollar question.
No.
Come on, man. You're a journalist now. You cannot avoid this question.
No,
it's very experienced. Okay.
I'm an ex-player. I'm an ex-player. That's different. So the only thing I can predict, because I'm very good at this and I never miss, I always say that the team that scores the most points will win the game.
Okay, let me
So
translate that.
you are no defense guy.
Of course, everybody knows that.
Είπε ο Τζο ότι και οι δύο ελληνικές ομάδες, το ρώτησαν πώς του φαίνονται οι ελληνικές ομάδες, είπε ότι και οι δύο νιώθουν την πίεση και δεν χρειάζονται, λέει, άλλη πίεση, ούτως ή άλλως ζουν με την πίεση, έχουν εξαιρετικά ρόστερ αμφότερες. Το θέμα είναι, λέει, ποια ομάδα αντέχει τους τραυματισμούς. Ο Ολυμπιακός έχει ήδη πολλούς. Μήπως, λέει, είναι και καλό αυτό να έρχονται νωρίς οι τραυματισμοί. Προφανώς είναι καλό αν στο τέλος της σεζόν μια ομάδα είναι υγιής. Πάντως, λέει, και οι δύο ομάδες μας, ο Ολυμπιακός και ο Παναθηναϊκός, είναι σε ιδανικό μονοπάτι ώστε να παίξουν μεταξύ τους στο Final Four, στον τελικό ιδανικά, όχι πια, λέει, όχι πάλι στην τρίτη θέση, άλλωστε, λέει, έχει καταργηθεί η τρίτη θέση. Σε κάθε περίπτωση το ρώτησα ποιος θα νικήσει σε μια μεταξύ τους αναμέτρηση. Λέει, αυτό δεν μπορώ να το προβλέψω, δεν είμαι ακόμα δημοσιογράφος, ένας πρώην παίκτης είμαι, αλλά, λέει, το μόνο που ξέρω είναι το μόνο στο οποίο δεν κάνω ποτέ λάθος είναι ότι η ομάδα που θα βάλει τους περισσότερους πόντους, αυτή θα κερδίσει.
So, Joe, a question from the fans here in YouTube. Fans want to know your opinion on the moves that many EuroLeague teams made this year, and which teams do you think that made it to the first six in the EuroLeague standings in the end of the season?
I think as far as the moves in the summertime, I thought it was a very active off season. No, a lot of people changing teams, a lot of people going to different places, a lot of teams filling up. I think Real Madrid made a lot of nice changes for them compared to last year, but I don't know if they still found their rhythm. It's early for them. Olympiacos with their signings also. Panathinaikos, you know, they're always in the market for another player, so you never know when that's going to stop. But you know, the top six, I think, no matter what, you know, now Zalgiris is in first place with 3-0.
Undefeated. Yes.
Last year, I remember Crvena Zvezda was in first place, and you know, Milan was up there. Many teams that were there. Crvena Zvezda was, you know, unfortunately didn't make the playoffs in the last game of the season. So, you know, the more the season goes on, the more the big teams are going to be there. So I think you'll see the two Greek teams, Monaco, Real Madrid, Fenerbahce, who else? Barcelona possibly. So I think if will Zalgiris make it through the year as a surprise? I don't know. I haven't been able to watch them play yet. I don't know what kind of team they have, but they've won a big game in Monaco very easily, which is, you know, when you win away from home, that's very important. But you know, the surprise team, it's hard to surprise in this league, you know. It's very difficult, again, because of the length of the season and because of the depth of your bench, possible injuries.
Okay. Ο Τζο ρωτήθηκε από την ευτυχία, από εσάς τους ίδιους δηλαδή, στην πραγματικότητα, ποιες είναι οι 6 ομάδες που είναι φαβορί για τα play-off για την πρώτη εξάδα, τέλος πάντων, κατά την εκτίμησή του. Είπε ότι πολλές ομάδες ξόδεψαν το καλοκαίρι για να ενισχυθούν, για να γεμίσουν, όπως είπε, το ρόστερ τους. Ο Ολυμπιακός πήρε κόσμο και θα είναι πολύ δυνατός. Η Real έκανε σωστές κινήσεις που ακόμα δεν έχουν βρει ρυθμό και δεν έχουν δέσει. Ο Παναθηναϊκός, λέει, πάντα είναι στην αγορά για να ενισχυθεί, οπότε δύσκολα μπορεί να τον κρίνει κάποιος τόσο νωρίς. Αλλά η μεγάλη, λέει, θα είναι πάλι εκεί. Ο Ολυμπιακός, ο Παναθηναϊκός, η Real, η Φενέρ, η Μονακό, ίσως η Μπαρσελόνα. Τον ρώτησα αν βλέπει κάποια ομάδα έκπληξη και αναρωτήθηκε φωναχτά κατά πόσον μπορεί η Ζαλγκίρις να πάει να συνεχίσει αυτή την πορεία. Είναι, λέει, πολύ δύσκολο να εκπλήξει κάποια ομάδα τους άλλους λόγω του βάθους που έχει η σεζόν. Άλλωστε και πέρσι ξεκίνησε καλά ο Ερυθρός Αστέρας και το Μιλάνο, θύμισε, αλλά στην πορεία δεν κατάφεραν να αντέξουν.
Joe, I don't know for you, but for us for sure, and also for the majority of European fans, last year, the fact that Panathinaikos and Olympiacos were disappointing in the Final Four, it was a negative surprise. Do you think that these two teams, these two powerhouses, will be using this negative experience of last year, this season, as a big lesson?
You know, I as an ex-player, you always say that you're going to use the year before, you know, as a motivating tool to motivate you more. But you kind of, you know, maybe that works in the preseason, but then when you're going during the season, I don't think you're thinking about it very much. I think if any one of the teams is really, really thinking about that, it has to be Olympiacos, because they've been there, 4 years now in a row, and they haven't been able to win the title. Some, you know, losing to Micic on the final shot and the three-pointer, losing on the final shot to Sergio Llull in the championship game against Madrid. It's been such a disappointment for Olympiacos that you feel like they should use this as a positive thing to make themselves get better. But after losing 4 in a row, it's very difficult mentally to come back. Panathinaikos, you know, they won the year before. They changed their whole team. They signed Coach Ataman, and they won the championship. I think it's a little bit different for them, but you know, in this league, it's so difficult to win. Any type of motivation helps.
Η ερώτηση του Αντώνη ήταν κατά πόσον οι ελληνικές ομάδες μπορούν να χρησιμοποιήσουν την περσινή σεζόν ως μάθημα, ως δίδαγμα. Είπε ο Τζο ότι ως πρώην παίκτης θυμάται ότι πάντοτε υποτίθεται ότι η χρονιά που είχε μόλις τελειώσει θα ήταν κίνητρο για την επόμενη. Αυτό όμως, λέει, λειτουργεί μόνο στα φιλικά. Στην πορεία το ξεχνάς. Όμως για τον Ολυμπιακό μπορεί να ισχύει αυτό, να έχει δηλαδή κίνητρο από τις αποτυχίες του παρελθόντος, διότι 4 χρόνια σερί φτάνει πολύ κοντά στην πηγή και δεν πίνει νερό. Έχασε στο Βελιγράδι από το σουτ του Μίσιτ στον ημιτελικό, έχασε από το σουτ του Γιούλ στον τελικό στο Κάουνας. 4 χρόνια σερί έχει φτάσει πολύ κοντά, αλλά δεν τα κατάφερε. Στον Παναθηναϊκό είναι διαφορετικά, λέει, τα πράγματα. Άλλαξε όλη την ομάδα του, πήρε τον Άταμαν, κατέκτησε τον τίτλο με την πρώτη. Είναι αρκετά διαφορετικό, δεν έχει τόσο έντονη μια κοντινή χρονικά αποτυχία ώστε να πει ότι πάνω σε αυτή θα πατήσει για το μέλλον. Joe, my question. You obviously played alongside Sabas, Arvidas Sabonis, and there's a lot of talk of how Nikola Jokic is in the same mold, is the same kind of hybrid. Can you compare the two?
Oof.
I
don't know, man.
I knew that was coming.
We are not the Ass newspaper, okay?
I think you know that I don't care what newspaper it is. I'm always going to tell you.
Who would you rather play alongside if they were both young today?
I have to say that, you know, I played with Sabas and it wasn't physically at his best moment.
Yeah.
I didn't see him play when he was, you know, 19, 20, when he was actually, you know, handling the ball and playing point guard and doing the things that he did with the old Russian team. Jokic is unbelievable. He's you know, he's in another planet altogether. He's I don't know. I don't think he's the greatest player to ever play because that'll always be Michael Jordan for me.
For us
but
too.
Jokic yeah, I think it should be for everybody, but that's my opinion.
Mm-hmm.
But Jokic is somebody that, and I might get in trouble for saying this, but since it's not the ass paper, I'll say it anyways. If Jokic was American-born player, he'd be the greatest player to ever play the game just by numbers alone. You know, he does things no other player has ever done, and so did Sabas. Sabas did things that no other player ever did, but Jokic is unbelievable. And you know, Sabas is dear to my heart. I love him, but it's tough to compare the two. Jokic is one of the best players I've ever seen, and I don't know why. That's my problem. Nobody knows why. Physically, he's not good. Mentally, it's like he wants to ride his horses instead of playing basketball. You know, he celebrated third place with Serbia in the Olympics more than he celebrated the NBA championship with.
Exactly.
Nuggets.
He makes the game look easy.
Yeah, and I think it's not fair to everybody else, and that's why nobody puts him as the best. But you know, a guy that has, I think last year he had a triple-double in the first quarter.
Yeah.
Or in the first 15 minutes of the game, he had a triple-double already.
Yeah.
Nobody did this before. Nobody ever.
Η ερώτησή μου ήταν για μια σύγκριση του Άρβιντα Σαμπόνις με τον οποίο ο Τζο έπαιζε δίπλα-δίπλα ντουέτο στη Ρεάλ με τον Γιόκιτς. Γιατί πολλοί την κάνουν αυτή τη σύγκριση όσο και αν είναι διαφορετικές εποχές. Ο Τζο απάντησε ότι την εποχή που έπαιξε με τον Σαμπόνις, τον πατέρα Σαμπόνις προφανώς, δεν ήταν στα καλύτερά του, σωματικά τουλάχιστον. Δεν ήταν ο ίδιος Σάμπας που στα 19 και στα 20 του με την Εθνική Σοβιετικής Ένωσης οργίαζε. Έκανε τα πάντα, έπαιζε σαν point guard όπως είπε. Ο Γιόκιτς απ' την άλλη είναι απίστευτος, λέει, είναι σε έναν διαφορετικό πλανήτη μόνος του. Δεν θα πω, λέει, ότι είναι ο καλύτερος όλων των εποχών, διότι ο καλύτερος όλων των εποχών είναι ο Μάικλ Τζόρνταν και σε αυτό, λέει ο Τζο, θα έπρεπε να συμφωνούν οι πάντες. Αλλά αν ο Γιόκιτς, λέει, ήταν Αμερικανός, όλοι θα τον θεωρούσαν ότι αυτός είναι, ότι έχει τα νούμερα για να γίνει ο κορυφαίος όλων των εποχών. Λατρεύω, λέει, τον Σάμπας, τον Άρβιντα Σαμπόνις, αλλά ο Γιόκιτς είναι κάτι άλλο. Δεν ξέρω, λέει, γιατί είναι το κάτι άλλο. Διότι το κορμί του δεν είναι προφανώς τόσο αθλητικό, ότι ο ίδιος θα προτιμούσε να καβαλάει τα λογά του στη Σερβία παρά να παίζει μπάσκετ, ότι τον είδαμε να πανηγυρίζει το χάλκινο μετάλλιο της Εθνικής Σερβίας στους Ολυμπιακούς Αγώνες πιο πολύ και από το πρωτάθλημα του NBA. Είναι, λέει, λίγο παράξενος τύπος, αλλά είναι το κάτι άλλο.
Joe, let us...
I want to say one thing before. I do 1,000 interviews every year. And that's the first time I've ever been asked that question. So bravo.
Μπράβο, Νίκο.
Ήταν, λέει, η πρώτη φορά που άκουσε αυτή την ερώτηση και εισέπραξε ένα μπράβο, το οποίο το κρατάω ως γαλόνι στο αρχείο μου. Thanks, Joe. I appreciate that.
Joe, let us congratulate you and thank you for this conversation and congratulate you for being selected in the Spanish Basketball Hall of Fame. I think the ceremony will be in a few days, right?
Yeah, I go tomorrow to Madrid for the game, for the Madrid Partizan game, and then on Thursday I do the Hall of Fame ceremony. It's very special to me. You know, they called me the same day I became a grandfather. My daughter gave birth in the 18th of September, and they called me the same day. And I tried to not show my joy, you know, with my granddaughter being there. But
Can I ask you a very quick last question before you go? I used to do TV work back when you were playing in Greece and Spain and everything, and I always wonder.
You're older than me, then.
I am. I think I am. But what I wanted to ask you is, as an ex-player, did you? Was there a moment when you said to yourself, "Oh, that's not as easy as I thought it would be," when you sat on the TV announcer chair? What's the hardest part on being a TV man?
I think, honestly, I think every game is a difficult time. It's when, plus, this is a great question. Again, Nico, you're on fire.
I'm on a roll, man, here.
When I first started doing this with EuroLeague, it was with two people. You had the play-by-play and then me, the analyst.
Yes. And
this was a relatively easy job because you just have to analyze the game, which is somewhat easy for me. When they asked me to do games by myself and do play-by-play, that's when I realized how difficult it is to do play-by-play, how much extra work you have to put in to do play-by-play. You have to know more people, you have to know more names, you have to develop a style of your type of narrating a game. So yes, my answer is yes. That was the moment, and I did my first game alone was CSKA against Real Madrid. Do you remember when EuroLeague before used to do the one game on Wednesday night to kick off the season?
Game of the week or something.
Yeah.
Real Madrid. It was CSKA Real Madrid, and they made me do the game, and I said, "Oh shit!" Excuse me.
I'd rather be playing.
And man, it was one of the most difficult days of my life as far as this job is concerned, and I respect it, and I try to be so prepared for every game now so that I don't get into that situation again. But every game that I do, no matter if I'm color or if I'm the play-by-play, I get very nervous before the game, just like when I played.
Joe, we appreciate a lot your time, and we thank you for being with us. We'll see you probably tonight, in set. Thanks a lot.
Thank you.
Fantastic. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, everybody. Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Η τελευταία μου ερώτηση είχε να κάνει με την εμπειρία του ως τηλεσχολιαστή. Το ρώτησα, είσαι από αυτούς, γιατί ξέρω ότι σε όλους συμβαίνει αυτό, που όταν βρέθηκες στην καρέκλα του τηλεσχολιαστή, ξαφνικά ανακάλυψες ότι είναι πολύ πιο δύσκολο από όσο νόμιζες. Και λέει, βεβαίως, ειδικά στο πρώτο παιχνίδι που έκανα μόνος μου, γιατί στην αρχή ήταν ο σχολιαστής, ο νούμερο 2. Δεν έκανε και την περιγραφή. Λέει, ήταν μία από τις δυσκολότερες μέρες της ζωής μου.
Και παιχνίδι που άνοιγε τη σεζόν που έκανε ένα τότε η EuroLeague.
Το Game of the Week το έλεγαν τότε, το μεγάλο μάτς, ας πούμε, της εβδομάδας. Και είπε ότι έμαθα, λέει, να προετοιμάζομαι για όλα, έπρεπε να μάθεις περισσότερα πράγματα, για τους παίκτες, για τις ομάδες, να αναπτύξω το προσωπικό μου στυλ, να σέβομαι, λέει, τη δουλειά αυτή και τις ομάδες. Ανακάλυψε ένα καινούριο κόσμο.
Έχουμε πιέσει ο χρόνος τώρα.
Ο Πάνος Κύρ που θέλει να του υπογράψεις και τα βιβλία σου, λέει ότι μάλλον καλός πρέπει να είσαι, γιατί έκανες 2 πετυχημένες ερωτήσεις.
Είναι σε μεγάλη φόρμα.
Λοιπόν.